Welcome to another edition of Expectations with your buddy Baldwin. This week, though, I'm not going to be taking the usual turn of expectations by reviewing something. Well, technically, I am reviewing something, and sadly enough, it has to be this fucking whole gay marriage thing. Um, I'm just going to be blatant out with you folks right now is that I stand for equal rights for everybody, whether you're gay or not. Gay, straight, bi, trans, all the lovely ones in between. I've never had a problem with homosexuality. Not a huge fan of two guys, touching dicks in front of me, but that's a Louis C.K. joke. I'm also sorry if you guys hear like background noise or any other shit. There are people here who are being loud and it's almost fucking midnight. but I feel like this has to be said. I don't know why it has to be said, but it just does. And the thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that I'm 22 years old, folks. I'm not 50, not 60 years old. I didn't fight in any wars. I've yet to really achieve anything in my life besides going to college. And I'm not even done with that yet. I'm not one to stand up on a soapbox and pretend to be the one who has all the knowledge, who has all the power, who knows something, who's been through something. The only thing I've been through was a shitty childhood. That was it. But this whole idea that we're even debating this, and I hate to do this because it's not befitting of my character, but I have to bash you fucking Bible bangers. And it's not all of you. It's not all of you, because some of you can actually see that, oh, the Bible verse is just a fucking Bible verse. It's not something that I have to live my life by. The Bible is just something that teaches us. It's a book of stories, and you take from the stories what you can get. And yet, it seems that everybody gets the only one thing is that one man cannot lie with another man. And in the jazzed up version, it's one man cannot have sexual relations with another man. Um, and that's just because we've changed it. Eventually, it'll be the hillbilly version where one guy cannot fuck another guy in the butthole like he does his purty thing that he traded a pig for. It's ridiculous that we have to be at this point. Look at the advancements we've made in the past, what, 20, 30, fucking even the last 10 years. It's astonishing that for everything that we're achieving, it seems like we're taking the biggest step back into like the fucking dark ages with this, allowing homosexuals to get married, and it's just, and it is. I have to blame you fucking Bible bangers for it. I mean, yeah, there are free thinkers out there who are against homosexuality, but they're against it from a different standpoint. They're against it because they think it's icky. That's it. There's no, they aren't reading from a book. They aren't trying to pretend that what they're reading is 100% the truth. I've never met really a free thinker who is against homosexuality. But that's the thing, there's one in every color. You can't, I can't just say that it's all Bible bangers, and I can't say it's all Muslims, or can't say it's all the Jews. It's, there are free thinkers out there. Like I said, I've yet to meet one. When I do, maybe I'll change my attitude about this. But in this case, I gotta bash on you fucking Christians and Catholics and Baptists and whoever else. If you're a good person, you're a good person. That's it. It's not hard to understand that being a good person is you wake up every day, you do what you have to get through that day. And if you have time to help another person, do so. And if the opportunity arises that you can, by God, you should, in your power, try and do something. Like if you see a homeless man, give him $5, you know, or at least provide him with a good meal. If you see somebody on the side of the road with a flat tire, stop by and help them out. I mean, we all have lives that we live by, and we all do things that we have to get accomplished. We all We all fucking go to work. We all go to bed. We all come home. We brush our teeth. We take a shit. We eat. We sleep. Wash, rinse, repeat. And we pretend, that some people are just pretending that homosexuality, because it's the sin, that we have to treat these people. Well, it's a sin, as they say it. It's a sin as much as it is that a woman can't leave the house if she is on her menstrual cycle, and that's in the fucking Bible. I'm not gonna quote the fucking thing. Go read it if you want. I haven't read it. I know it's there though because I've fucking heard a lot of people talk about it. I know I sound ignorant right now. I know that I'm saying, well, if you haven't read the Bible, then you truly don't understand it. It's like, you know what? I don't have to read the Bible because when instances like this come up, when there's no moral reasoning why behind why people are acting this way, then I have to do my research. Am I going to be able to quote Leviticus? No, but I know it's in the book of Leviticus, and I know it says something about a man can't lie with another man. But of all the things we take the ones that matter the most. And by matter the most, I mean the ones that are going to shake the ground the most. Back in the 40s and 50s, well, shit. Ever since this country was founded, it was all about, blacks, colored, those coming into this country with a different skin tone than us. And, underneath that was even women's rights. And it wasn't up until the 1920s women finally get the right to vote, and then, fuck, not even another 40, 50 years after that, we finally let, the black population have a stance in this fucking country. It took 50 years to allow black people to do something. That's fucking ridiculous. And now, what I'd say about 40 years later, we're taking another stance. I mean, the stance behind gay marriage has really arisen since the early 70s when there was a great revolt. Great revolt. No, I guess there wasn't a revolt, but there was a big, underground revolution, if you want to think of it that way, of homosexuals. And it kind of took the back burner for a little while. Why? I mean, you could say because of war, because of the Vietnam War, because it kind of died out. I think it's because, on the news, you can look this up if you want, there are news articles out there where people would go out, people from the church, people who believe in Jesus Christ as their Savior, would go out and beat these people, beat homosexuals in the street. A friend of mine was telling me about, even in the UK, like, this happened a few months ago, there was a man who was homosexual that got lit on fire, doused with gasoline, and then lit on fire, and then beaten still to the point that he just died. For being homosexual. You know, it fucking blows my mind, people. Why the fuck are we fighting about this? What happened to equality? We like to praise that we're in one of the greatest countries on the fucking earth. Yet so far, the things that we've bitched about in the last year and a half, is gun rights, which, let's put it this way. If you think that owning a gun makes you safer, you're the reason why this country sucks. Number two, if you think the reason why this country can't get any better is because, oh, not everybody's a true Christian, you need to fucking leave this country. And number three, if you blame any of any of the faults that have ever befallen this country on anybody who's homosexual, or the fact that you think that because your fucking raggedy old Bible, it still has some truth behind it, even though it's been proven that half the stories were made up, yet you think that everything in it is fucking pure gold. Oh, it's taken from God, written by man. Yeah, because men don't fuck up. Hey, everybody out there who's a man, have you ever fucked up accidentally? You've never knocked a glass off a table? You've never done something to cheat? Please, there's one out of a few a few 100 million out there that actually aren't complete assholes. I'll admit I'm an asshole. I've cheated before. Fuck. Never cheated on a woman. But I cannot never say that I've cheated. And it just, I don't want it to be this to be a long one. I'm already, oh shit, I'm almost at 10. I'll go for another 5 minutes. I don't want to go much longer because this is just depressing, folks. This is honestly pathetic. You know, when we founded this country, we founded it on morals. Good morals. Well, morals that we understood at the time. We wrote it because we were escaping something. We were actually getting away from something. We were trying to solve our humanity. You know, how can we treat another person like this? Granted, yeah, we still thought that anybody with a different color of skin was a slave. You know, it goes to show we weren't in the right fucking mind of thinking. But you think you would take a guess that after several hundred years, that it's like, oh, maybe these laws don't apply to us anymore. You know, we don't realize that, you know, as great as the Constitution is, and it is, it's historically important. But if we took everything out of the Constitution and we reworked it, we made it work for us. You cannot try and force something that is so fucking old at this point to try and work for something now. You can't. Thomas Jefferson didn't have Twitter. Benjamin Franklin didn't have Facebook. Jesus Christ did not have a cell phone. You know, we live in such a modern, advanced society that fucking 100 years ago telling them that, oh, you know, everybody has a phone that can instantly connect them all together, regardless of where the fuck they are, unless you own like Verizon or something where you can't get a signal even if you're standing next to a fucking tower. But we live in this country where we've advanced. I mean, we've fallen, and that's what's sad. And there are people out there who are trying to rectify this country, who are trying to do something. I don't know who it is, but there are people out there. Otherwise, you still wouldn't be able to get up, you know? If there wasn't something happening out there, you wouldn't get up. Honestly. Because you'd be like, oh, what's the fucking point? You know, we drone on about our lives and we like to pretend that what we're doing is not important, or sometimes we just feel that we're not doing anything at all. It's like, but you're doing something, you know? Granted, not everybody's doing something that they should be, you know? Maybe instead of doing drugs, you should go help out at an orphanage. Maybe instead of protesting somebody's rights, you maybe go work out in an orphanage. There are greater important things to talk about, folks. There are greater things to debate about. Maybe the fact that we should stop debating about gay marriage and start fucking debating about, oh, I don't know, children going hungry on the streets in this country. I'm sorry I sound angry, I am. But at the same time, it's pure frustration. Oh yeah, I'll run you a couple more minutes, folks. Just to lighten it up, a little bit. But it's, we live in a golden age, folks. You know, my generation, we're gonna try and do something. There's some smart fucking people out there. I know, I have several friends who are movers and shakers. We're the type of people that we talk all the time, you know? We discuss what's going on in our world, and we wish we could do something more. Because we're all, you know, we're in our early 20s. We can't do a lot. You know, the people who are seated in power are ages ahead of us. You know, they had to go through the tougher times. They had to deal with more bullshit, you know. The most bullshit my generation deals with is the lack of battery life on a fucking tablet. You know, I'm not saying we need to go through a harsh tragedy like we haven't already, you know, 9/11, all these school fucking shootings. But that means our generation has to step up. You guys, you know, if you're 55 and older, you guys can step aside. You've seen the horrors, you've seen the tragedies. It's time for our generation to start working something out. Because soon enough, I'm probably going to leave this fucking country and go move to Canada or something. Or at least move to a state where I don't hear about this. Because it's not worth my time. It shouldn't be worth anybody's time. You know, it shouldn't be worth a cent. But once again, I'm I believe in equality. I believe in giving people a chance. So you Bible bangers out there, you Christians, I hate to use that term, but I'm gonna call you that unless you can prove it to me. I want you to, if any of you fucking Christians out there listening to this, I want you to put in the comments below. I want you to say something nice, just nice. Just say something that's positive about love. Don't rattle off some bullshit about love is between man and a woman. Tell me about love. Tell me about what love really is. Try and explain it to me. And let's see how many different definitions we get. I'd like to see the comments box filled. I know it's not going to happen. I know we usually get like 20 views on these fucking videos, but I'd like to see it happen. Now that I've ran you guys into the ground and probably depressed most of you into the point of suicide, um, I'll just end it simply as this has been Baldwin, another Dielectric Meteor podcast. I hope next time I have good expectation for you guys. Looking forward to it. There's some good movies coming out. Iron Man 3. Lighten the mood a little bit, so. Hope you guys have a good week. Stop being fucking retards out there. And if you don't like the R word, stop being a fucking moron.